Learning a new language quickly and effectively is a goal that many people aspire to, especially in a world that is increasingly interconnected. Whether for travel, work, study, or personal fulfillment, acquiring a new language opens up opportunities and offers insights into different cultures and ways of thinking. However, it can also be a challenging journey that requires dedication, strategy, and patience. The key to mastering a language quickly lies in immersion, consistency, smart study techniques, and the willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone. To begin with, immersion is one of the most powerful tools for language learning. Immersion means surrounding yourself with the language in your daily life so that it becomes a natural part of your environment. This can be achieved even without traveling to a country where the language is spoken. With the internet, movies, songs, podcasts, books, and social media in almost every language imaginable are just a few clicks away. Listening to native speakers, watching content in the target language, and reading texts, whether simple or complex, train the brain to recognize sounds, patterns, and structures more quickly than studying in isolation. When the brain is constantly exposed to the language, it begins to process and internalize it subconsciously, much like how children learn their mother tongue. Another important aspect of rapid and effective language learning is consistency. Daily exposure and practice are far more effective than occasional study marathons. Language acquisition depends heavily on repetition and reinforcement, so short, focused sessions every day are more productive than cramming once a week. It's better to practice for 20 or 30 minutes each day than to study for hours sporadically. This daily habit keeps the language fresh in your mind and helps to build a strong foundation over time. Even on busy days, small habits like listening to music in the target language or thinking through your daily routine in that language can make a big difference. Speaking from the beginning is also crucial, even if your vocabulary is limited or your grammar is shaky. Many learners delay speaking until they feel they've mastered enough grammar or vocabulary, but this often leads to frustration and a lack of confidence. Language is a tool for communication, and the sooner you begin using it, the better. Making mistakes is an inevitable part of learning, and every error is an opportunity to improve. Try to find language exchange partners or join online communities where you can practice speaking with native speakers or fellow learners. There are also language learning apps that offer opportunities to speak with tutors or use voice recognition to practice pronunciation. The more you speak, the more comfortable and fluent you'll become. In addition to speaking, writing and thinking in the target language help reinforce what you've learned and allow you to apply new vocabulary and grammar in practical contexts. Keeping a journal, writing short stories, or even sending text messages in the new language can be extremely beneficial. This active engagement forces your brain to retrieve and organize information, solidifying it more deeply than passive learning. Similarly, thinking in the language, rather than translating from your native tongue, promotes fluency and helps you begin to live in the language rather than just learn it. A vital component of effective language learning is vocabulary acquisition. Instead of memorizing long lists of unrelated words, it's better to learn vocabulary in context. This means picking up words and phrases as they appear in conversations, texts, or media. Words are easier to remember when they're part of a meaningful situation or sentence. Using spaced repetition systems, SRS, can also accelerate vocabulary retention. These systems are designed to review words at increasing intervals just before you're likely to forget them, maximizing long-term memory. Flashcard apps that use SRS are particularly helpful, and they often allow you to customize your decks based on your interests and needs. Grammar, often viewed as the most tedious part of language learning, should be approached with curiosity rather than dread. Understanding how a language works structurally allows you to build your own sentences and express complex ideas. It's best to learn grammar through usage rather than isolated study. When you encounter a new structure, try to use it in your own sentences and observe how it's used in native content. Over time, your intuition for the language will grow, and grammar rules will start to feel natural rather than memorized. Cultural context also plays a significant role in mastering a new language. Language and culture are deeply intertwined, and understanding cultural nuances can enhance communication and comprehension. Idioms, humor, gestures, and social norms all influence how a language is used. Engaging with cultural content, such as films, literature, history, and traditions, not only makes learning more enjoyable, but also gives you a deeper appreciation of the language and its speakers. It helps you move beyond textbook phrases and into authentic expression. Motivation is a powerful driver in any learning journey. It's important to have a clear reason for why you want to learn the language and to remind yourself of it regularly. Whether it's traveling, connecting with people, career advancement, or personal growth, your motivation will keep you going when progress feels slow. Celebrating small victories along the way, such as understanding a scene in a movie or holding a short conversation, can boost morale and reinforce your commitment. Personalizing your learning process according to your interests, goals, and learning style also speeds up progress. If you love music, incorporate songs into your study routine. If you're a visual learner, use images, color-coded notes, and mind maps. If you enjoy reading, pick up books or comics in the target language. Learning doesn't have to be rigid or dull. The more enjoyable it is, the more likely you are to stick with it. Finally, patience and perseverance are essential. No method can make you fluent overnight, and language learning often includes moments of self-doubt, plateaus, and setbacks. These are natural parts of a journey. Progress may not always be linear, but every bit of practice builds towards fluency. Be kind to yourself, stay curious, and keep going. Fluency is not just about perfect grammar or a massive vocabulary. It's about being able to connect, understand, and express yourself in a new way. That's the true reward of learning a new language.